Welcome back to the Fix Your Car Garage. Today we're going to be taking a really cool look at this sweet 2015 BMW 3 Series. I'm teasing. That's a Chevy Traverse there. That's not a BMW. It is a 2015, so I didn't lie about everything, but the amount of nonsense that went into that thing, you would think it's a BMW. I'm going to be talking today about the GM 3.6 liter. It does get a bad name. It's not necessarily the engine's fault. It's the manufacturer's fault. They lie to you, and people follow that oil change gauge or life expectancy oil in the instrument gauge. And when it gets down to 0%, they change the oil. That is the worst mistake you can make with these motors. They suffer from a problem called timing chain stretch. It starts off slow, almost unnoticeable. I believe this car has it a little bit. It's still in the area where it can be managed with regular oil changes and kept on the road. It has about 170,000 miles. Didn't have it when it bought it when it had about 120, but now it's starting to develop this kind of slight kind of hesitation at idle. Doesn't set off any check engine lights. So the codes that you're going to be watching out for when it gets severe is P008 and P0017. These are cam crank correlation codes, and they means that the cam and the crankshaft of the motor are not in time. Now, I don't have a good video to show you this. I'm going to put a video down in the description below. It's from another channel called GoTech, and I don't have the tool to do it. He has a fancy picoscope that you can plug in and monitor the signal from the cam crank correlation, and shows you how to do that test. If you happen to have one of those fancy scopes, you can do it. Otherwise, you have to take it to a shop. Lots of people misdiagnose that problem with ignition coils. The ignition coils on here sometimes do go bad, but it's commonly mistaken as a cam crank correlation issue. So we want to talk about how to make this 3.6 liter bulletproof. It's not exactly a bulletproof motor. This motor replaced probably one of GM's best motors, the 3.8 liter. That motor was this motor in the 3.6 replaced that. And part of the changes that they did, they incorporated a variable valve time system that, I'll just be honest, it requires more maintenance. If it just had a simple timing chain like the 3.8, you wouldn't necessarily have to worry about it. The problem is now that you had variable valve time, you have variable valve time actuators and variable valve time tensioners. And they run off of oil pressure. So if you're doing those 7,500 mile oil changes like the manufacturer recommends, or you're following the oil life gauge in the vehicle, you're going to burn up the motor. It's just going to wear out the cylinder walls. You're going to wear out the piston rings. It's going to run low on oil. That's going to starve the variable valve time system of oil and pressure, most importantly. And it's going to stretch that timing chain and eventually skip a gear because the timing chain's worn out. It's loose. It's not tight anymore. And you're going to start to develop problems. Now, you won't notice it until the cam correlation gets out more than, I think, double digits. That video that I just mentioned, there was a car that came in for that very issue, which I believe this one's having. Just a slight hesitation at idle. You don't even really notice it unless you're really paying attention to it. Those codes that I was mentioning, the P008 and the P0017, they won't go off until that cam correlation is off, like in the double digits, like 10 degrees or more. And that's when you want to think about replacing the timing chain, because then it's going to ruin your motor. But then is it really worth it? Because this job on this vehicle cost, for a timing chain replacement, cost a little under $5,000. And if you're doing a timing chain, you're also going to do a water pump, you're going to do a few other things. So that bill is going to be a little above $5,000, I can promise you, when it's all said and done. So, and it's not a DIY job, unfortunately, on these sideways motor configurations where the water pump's on the side and all the accessories are on the side. It's not a DIY job. It's an engine out job. In some of the other models, like the Camaro, the engine's forward facing, it is a DIY job. It's not very easy, but it is possible. You can do it. Do not wait for the oil to get low. Hey friend, we'll get back to the episode in just a minute. Real quick, if you like this, please share it with your friends. Let's get the word out about deceptive, bad maintenance practices recommended by the manufacturer. With that in mind, I created this free guide. If you head over to my website, www.fixyourcar.net, click on that orange button to download the free guide. It will show you the recommended maintenance intervals for all your vehicle's components. So you won't be led astray and led to believe that you can go longer and trash your vehicle before it's ready to go to the junkyard. Okay, now back to the episode. Other problem is it suffers from poor crankcase ventilation. Now, there's a mod you can do to the PCV valve. You want to make sure you're cleaning and replacing that thing often. I'd say every 30, 40,000 miles. And then the PCV valve itself, there is 2 holes in it that you want to drill out. The number that I have is on the top one, you want to do 7/64, and the bottom, you want to do 5/64. That is the drill bit size that you want to bore those holes out to, so you get a little bit more ventilation. And make sure you're cleaning that thing, and if you don't clean it regularly, just replace it often. They're fairly cheap. You can get for $5-10. It's not a big deal. The other thing I was going to mention with the variable valve time, some people are tempted to do the engine flush thing. I actually warn people against that because if your motor does have sludge in it, it's going to loosen up some of that sludge, and it could possibly enter that variable valve time area, where in the chain area, and that's going to cause problems prematurely. If you just change your oil out a little more often, maybe every 3,000 to 4,000 instead of the 5,000, it will clean all that stuff up and the sludge will go away naturally. Be leery about engine flushes. So if you have a higher mileage engine, make sure you're checking your oil every week or so. Don't, neglect it. Make sure you're kind of listening to it when you start it up. Do you hear a lot of noise? Often that's when variable valve time issues kind of come up, is you'll hear a lot of noise on startup. The water pump, they've been known to kind of prematurely fail on these vehicles. This one actually has a leaky water pump right now, so we're going to replace it. In the coming videos you're going to see, I'm going to show you how to replace it. How you know it's sort of going out, what to look for. It's usually a visual. It starts leaking from the weep hole, and then you might see steam coming off your engine because it might leak down onto the exhaust or underneath where it's a little bit hotter. So water pump replacement is necessary on this. If you're doing the water pump, you might as well do the hoses, the thermostat. Thermostat's on the other side of the motor. It's fairly easy to do. There is some connections. You got to take off like a little manifold to get to it, and the air intake and all that, but it's not too bad of a job. And then the ignition coils. As I said before, in the spark plugs, they have been known to cause issues and have premature failure. This vehicle has 165,000, and we're just going to change out the ignition coils as some preventative maintenance. See if it gets away that hesitation at idle. If it doesn't, then I'd like to go take it to somebody, and with that fancy scope that I was telling you about, it's about a $2,000 scope, and have them check that cam correlation to see if it's indeed a little bit of timing chain stretch. But I think we can avoid that as long as we do, more often than what we're told oil changes. But other than that, I encourage you to tune in. This whole series, we're going to be talking about how to keep this GM 3.6 liter alive. You're going to see a video on how to do the water pump, how to do the ignition coils and the spark plugs. I'll do a PCV valve. Might even show you how to clean the mass airflow sensor and the throttle body. That's it. So I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, consider subscribing. Check out some of my other videos. If you don't like and subscribe to me, please like and subscribe to my Lord, my Savior, my friend, Jesus Christ. He won't ever let you down. I might let you down. Other people will let you down, but he never will. So until next time, take care. God bless.